In Greek, the word amphibios means living a double life. Most amphibians exhibit a mixture of aquatic and terrestrial adaptations. Some common examples of amphibians include frogs, salamanders, and newts. These animals have smooth skin and undergo metamorphosis, spending part of their life cycle in water and part on land. Many supplement their oxygen intake by diffusing dissolved oxygen across their smooth skin. These animals are mostly found in moist habitats. Most species are tied to water because their eggs lacking shells dry out quickly in the air. A frog may spend much of its time on land, but it lays its eggs in water. With their thin, permeable skin and susceptibility to dehydration, amphibians are especially vulnerable to environmental threats such as water pollution and climate change. An egg develops into a larva called a tadpole, a legless, aquatic algae water eater with gills, a lateral line system resembling that of fishes, and a long, thin tail. The tadpole then undergoes a radical metamorphosis when changing into a frog. When a young frog crawls onto shore and begins life as a terrestrial insect eater, it has 4 legs, air-breathing lungs instead of gills, external eardrums, and no lateral line system. But even as adults, amphibians are most abundant in damp habitats such as swamps and rainforests. This is partly because amphibians depend on their moist skin to supplement lung function in exchanging gases with the environment. Thus, even frogs that are adapted to relatively dry habitats spend much of their time in humid burrows or under piles of damp leaves.
Amphibia and their body structures. These animals have unique skin. Amphibians and their reproduction cycle. Amphibians reproduce sexually with either external or internal fertilization. Amphibians may attract mates with calls or scents. They do not produce amniotic eggs, so they must reproduce in water. Amphibians' larvae go through metamorphosis to help change them into the adult form.
Amphibians have bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry can be defined as the basic body plan in which the left and right sides of the organism can be divided into mirror images of each other along the center or middle line. Amphibians are meat eaters, and many will eat almost any live food they can manage to catch and swallow. Some examples of their prey include insects, spiders, snails, slugs, and earthworms. Many amphibians hunt for food while others sit and wait for prey to come to it. For example, frogs sit and wait for insects to come near, and then they attach their long and sticky tongue to the insect while it is in motion.